I've said this before, and it might seem like a paradox, but what I'm going through right now is like a gift. And the gift is appreciating life. And I've heard growing up those slogans of, live every day as if it's your last. But this is real. This is a gift that I've been given to appreciate my life and appreciate all the people around me who have given me a very rich life.
Having a timeline being thrown in front of you means that you're living every life with some uncertainty. And you have no idea whether it's going to be tomorrow or 3 days from now or 6 months from now. So you're asked to live that way. And it's not a way most of us live. We all have this idea that we're going to die. But when you actually have it in front of you as it's on your calendar, it's on your placemat in front of you, you have to learn how to live in a different way.
I've been thinking about all the people in my life who really matter to me. And of course, that's my wife, Julia, my 2 sons, Nathaniel and Jordan, my sisters and brother, Elizabeth, Kathy, Elaine, and Bob. And then the circle of friends who have been so important to me, and mentors. So, some of the letters that I received, those are the people who affect your life, who make your life richer. And so when you have time to think about your life and in the situation I'm in, those things become very vivid.
If you haven't been in this situation of living with this kind of uncertainty, it's hard for other people to know how to respond. So I feel like I've had to do a lot of teaching around, no, this is happening, and don't tell me there's hope, because it's not really about hope, it's about enjoying every moment. Because there is no hope. He's going to die of this cancer.
And then if you needed to, you could change them.
And that's hard for people to watch. You struggle with that, but I've spent a lot of time trying to help family and friends. And in our case, we're in a slightly different situation because there's a whole community that's watching.
Dear Paul.
Dear Paul.
Dear Paul, Julia, Nathaniel, and Jordan.
I am so sorry about your condition. The tributes in the House of Commons and your own eloquent statements were extremely moving.
I first became aware of your fundamental decency and commitment to grassroots democracy when we competed for the nomination in Ottawa Centre more than a decade ago.
I'm sure there's a lineup a mile long of friends, family, and neighbors offering their support and help. Please know that our family would also be honored to help, should you need anything from us, just beyond the gnarly old hedge that separates our yards.
You may have forgotten about this, but years ago,
when you took my women's history course, you were one of 3 men.
There were about 10 women. You came to see me to check out that the 3 of you were not
talking too much. I assured you that you were not. That was such a sweet and thoughtful thing for you to do.
Turning back misguided efforts by some to get you to withdraw, you stood your ground and battled on. I greatly respected you then.
And it is a respect that has grown over the years.
You went on to establish a national reputation for integrity, human rights, and international peace.
My thoughts are that you are needed.
Needed not just by your family, for whom this must be devastating,
but also by this community and this country.
Your final commitment to Canadian youth follows a straight line from the past to the present.
Paul, we can't wait to see you back out at the barbecue, hanging laundry on the line,
and enjoying life in the backyard with friends and family.
Wishing you all the very best.
In great admiration.
Love from Debbie.
Ed.
Jeff, Nicole, Simon, and Jill.
But you do also have the sense, people say, aren't you angry, aren't you upset? And I don't have time to do that right now because these are my precious times with Paul.
You know, Julia, the love of my life, who I've been blessed to have been married to for 25 years. We just celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary right here where we got married on June 26th. Has been not only a support for me, but has been someone who, has enriched my life. That we have been able to find love for each other in many different ways and many different phases in our life. Like most people, right? When you first meet, I was head over heels over her. We got married, we had children, and that notion of relationship and love changed as we got older, and I now look at the love we have for each other and how profound it is. And again, it is a paradox. It's so joyful, but I feel so sad because the person who is dealing with the illness, in some ways it's easier. You're given your diagnosis, you're given your treatment, but it's those people who you leave or you're going to leave behind. And that's what makes my heart very heavy, because that's what's going to happen.
Paul brings with him a joy of life, and that has always been part of his love as well. I've called him and continue to call him my bubble of joy.
Have you ever swung in a star? Carry moonbeams home in a jar.
So the joke was I ran against God, and so that's Ed Broadbent. Because I was growing up, he was the leader for our party and very respected leader in the country, and so I ended up running against him for the nomination, and then I worked on his campaign and he became an MP.
One day with the kids about 4 or 5 years ago, they were asking about who's the boss of Canada, and I talked about Parliament and our MPs, and I said, Paul is an MP and he's very important. He plays a huge role in our country and our community. And one of the kids, I forget which one, looked outside and he said, "You mean that guy in his underwear?" And there was Paul in his boxers and t-shirt hanging laundry on the line.
I just have the greatest admiration, and I hope your final days on this planet are as joyful and as peaceful as they can be, and as you fully deserve them to be.
I would say, I know you're brave. I know you have a wonderful family. But still, this is not fair.